Hello, welcome. So now we will solve this question from assignment number 5. Question number 5. Figure shows front view and top view of an object. Draw isometric view. So in this question, origin point is on left side of diagram. So we will draw front view on right side of z-axis. This is x-axis, y and z-axis, and this is the direction of front view. So front view will appear on YZ plane, in this plane. So top view will appear on XY plane. So in question, this direction, vertical direction is Z, and for front view vertical direction is Z and horizontal direction is Y, and for top view the vertical direction is X and horizontal direction is Y. Vertical direction X and horizontal direction Y. Now our first step is to draw a rectangular box. For that we will calculate maximum dimensions, length, width and height. So z-axis means height, width is for y-axis and length is along x-axis. So maximum dimension, that is maximum direction along x, is a 70. Maximum dimension along y is 80, and height is, maximum height is 45 plus 25, 70. So we need a box of 70 by 80 by 70 dimension. Along x is 70. So first we will draw a rectangular box. This is a rectangular box. Now along y direction in front view, this is a straight line originating from point O, and this length is 80 mm, right? So we will we will draw this as a dark line. This is part of now diagram. Then from O point the height is 25 here. At O is equal to, at y is equal to 0 as well as y is equal to 80, height is 25. So from this point 25, and also from this point 25. Now from this point there is a straight line. Now we can see this is a semicircle. Semicircle is shown with the by a regular line. This is a regular line. Regular line. So it means that semicircle is visible in front view. It means that semicircle is at this face, the initial plane. That is at y is, that at x is equal to 0. On this plane the semicircle lie. Okay, that is, this line is a projection of semicircle, this line. And there is also another semicircle which is behind this semicircle at 20 mm distance. This line is also another semicircle, the projection of another semicircle. So there are two semicircles. So first we will draw line first we will draw this line. Just draw faint line, then at 20 mm distance along x-axis from O point there is another straight line. At 20 mm distance along x-axis from O point there is a line at z is equal to 25. Line at z is equal to 25. Now these shape, in front view we see these trapezium shape, and in top view this is a incline, these are the inclined lines. This is again a rectangle in which a small rectangle is there, right? So it means that all are regular lines, means it is that all planes are visible, okay? And in front it is like a trapezium, so the shape will be like this. A trapezium, that is like a pyramid, then there is a rectangular cut, and so somewhat like this there will be portion here. Now as this outer rectangle is visible, that is it is of regular line, it means that it is visible, right? So only front part is visible, the rear part is not visible, so we will not draw this rear part. Now the upper part is visible, the upper rectangle is visible, so first we will draw this upper rectangle. This upper rectangle is of length 50 mm and width 30 mm, and it is concentric with the outer rectangle which is at this height, which is at height of 25. So first we will take midpoint of this length and project it upward on top surface, as well as we will take midpoint of this length and project it on upward surface. This point is midpoint of this line, and now this is a projection on top surface. Now I want midpoint of this line, midpoint of this line which is parallel to y-axis, So total length is 80, midpoint is at 40 mm, so this is midpoint, and here this point is midpoint of this line. Now I will draw line parallel to y-axis from this midpoint up to opposite side, and also line parallel to x-axis from this midpoint up to opposite side. So intersecting will give the center of this rectangle, okay? Now I want to draw this rectangle which is of width 30 and height length 50, Okay, so length is shown along y-axis. The 50 is shown along y-axis, means 50 is from this point 25 and this point 25 on both sides. So I will mark on this line 25 on both sides. From this point 25 mm and here 25 mm. Also from, so width is 30, so wait, this is center line, so I will mark here 25 and this is 25, and along this line 1.5 and 1.5, that is 15 mm, that is total 30 mm here. This is 25, 15. Now I will draw a concentric rhombus, concentric to the outer rhombus, by just faint line passing through these points. So this is rhombus of rectangle of 50 total and 30 width. Now in this rectangle, so this is a top face of a upper face of rectangle. Okay, now this is lower base, that is at height of 25. This is lower base. So this rectangle of 50 width and 80 length, this outer rectangle is lie at z is equal to 25 distance, right? And this upper rectangle of length 50 and width 30, that is length 50 and width 30, length 50 and width 30, this upper rectangle lie on top surface. Now I will join these points. So this is like a pyramid, so I will join its points of upper surface and points on lower surface. So these are the points. So this is upper rectangle, now there is a rectangular cut on this upper surface, rectangular cut of width 16 mm, which is 8 mm from center, 8 mm on left and 8 mm on right side, and depth of 25 mm. So I will consider this length, this as a center point, and from this point I will take 8 mm on both sides. So this is 8 mm on both sides, here 0, and this is center point is at 8 and 1.6 at on another level. So this is 8 mm on both sides. Now the depth is 25, it is along z axis. So take roller scale along z axis, then from this point draw line, straight vertical line of 25 mm, and also from this point draw 25 mm, and then connect these points. Now this is a vertical depth, this is along z axis, but this plane, this trapezium is already inclined, right? So this depth is vertical depth, it is given in question as 25, but we need inclined depth, inclined line. So So for that we will take midpoint of this line, that is base line. This is midpoint, total length 80 mm, midpoint is at 4. Now from this midpoint we will take 8 mm on both side, 8 mm on both side, and these are the points. Now I will connect this point with upper point. We'll draw a very faint line. Now on this line I will take projection of this point along x-axis, projection of this vertical length. This is 25, vertical height is 25, but I need point on this inclined length, so I will take projection of x-axis. I will take roller scale on x-axis, roll up to this point, and then draw this line. So these points are our end points. Now I will draw dark line. Likewise, I will take this point on this side, so parallel to x-axis, just take these lines here. So these are the points. Now this is length, right? This length is visible here also. So now like this front side 80 mm, we need to draw back side which is not visible. We will draw this as faint. Okay, the back side of this base rectangle. This is parallel to axis, right? So I will take from this point 8 mm, 8 centimeter, 80 mm. So this will be back side. Now I will mark this midpoint of this side, that is at a 40 centimeter, 40 mm. Okay, now we'll take like this distance is, this is midpoint, and from this midpoint I have taken 8 mm, right? So also from this midpoint I will take 8 mm. Now this point, okay, 8 mm on both sides, this and this. So this is one point, this is second point. Okay, now this point will join with this point faintly, and just make it dark up to this line. Okay, so this is a bit complicated, so you can just take a line approximately parallel to any line. Okay, you may take this point, this line, or draw this line if you don't have that much time, but correct method is this. Now the diagram is almost complete. Just we need to draw two semicircles, semicircle on front side and at this plane. So semicircle is of radius 20. It is originated from midpoint of this length. Okay, width is 20, width is 80, and midpoint is at 40 mm distance, and semicircle, the center of semicircle is at 40 mm distance. So on this line we will take midpoint, then the radius is 20, so we'll take 20 mm on both sides. That is, we will take diameter, we will take this as a diameter. Okay, now the circle is vertical, so we'll take z axis. From this point we will take 2 centimeter upward and 2 centimeter downward. Also from this side, this point we'll take 2 centimeter upward and downward and complete this rhombus. So these rhombus, in this rhombus we have to draw a semicircle. So we need only this semicircle, we need only half point. This is midpoint, this is major angle point. We'll join major angle point with midpoint. And intersecting points are our center. So from this point we need semicircle on lower side. This is semicircle on front plane. We need semicircle on this plane also, that is at x is equal to 20 distance. So we'll take this point and this point and these 3 points on x-axis, parallel to x-axis at distance of 2 centimeter. This is first point, overlap with this point. This is center point. Then this is another midpoint, this center point. And this center point. Distance equal to this from this point, connecting this point and this point. So this arc is parallel to this one. Now we will draw line parallel to x-axis and common to these two quarter circle. just make all visible part dark, and when plane changes, that is, suppose this is inclined plane and this is vertical plane, so plane changes here, so separate it by regular line. This is final answer. Now you can erase all other work which is not necessary. Keep construction lines as it is. Construction which is done for to draw isometric circle, construction of rectangular box, then this additional construction to draw inclined line on inclined plane, keep it as it is. And finally draw projection, extension line and dimension line and dimensions. These are the extension line, extending lines, and draw dimension line parallel to line. This is final diagram.